Variation to the original work is almost certain to occur in construction project. Most forms of contract have provisions which allow any necessary changes to be made during construction process. Without the variation clause, changes to the original contract are not allowed. As for the definition as per clause 24.2 in PWD 203A, the term variation means a change in the contract documents which necessitates the alterations or modifications of the design, quality or quantity of the works as described by, or referred to therein and affects the contract sum, including a. The addition, omission, or substitution of any work. b. The alterations of the kind or standard of any of the materials goods to be used in the works or c. The removal from the site of any work executed or materials or goods brought thereon by the contractor for the purposes of the works other than work, materials or goods which are not in accordance with the contract. These are the reasons that lead to variations to the original work. It can be due to site condition, statutory requirements, change in client's requirements, defective contract drawings, bills of quantities, specification, and others, and may be due to poor cost control, for example shortage of fund. These are the relevant contractual provisions regarding variations in PWD Form 203A and PAM Contract 2018. A variation means any change to the work as described in the contract document as shown in the drawings, specification, bills of quantities, and others. The type of variation works are as follows: removal of work executed on site, change of quantity of work, change of quality of work, removal of materials brought onto site, as well as change of design of work. Here is an example of case study of variation work. This variation works comprise of addition chain link fence and also for changing the ceiling works. Both of the works are stated clearly in SO instruction, which normally will be known as variation order. In order for a variation works to be carried out, a procedure needs to be complied. Variation work starts when the SO issues instruction to the contractor, particularly in the form of written instruction. Once the contractor receives the instruction, contractor can proceed to carry out the variation work. And then, SO is responsible to measures, values and also certifies the variation work. And lastly, employer will pay to the contractor for the variation works through interim payment. Instruction is very important for a variation works to take place. Therefore, all parties should understand on all of these matter. Firstly, it is about power to issue instruction. The superintending officer has full power to issue instruction to the contractor to carry out any variation work which he thinks necessary for satisfactory completion of the project. Secondly, written instruction is compulsory to be issued for variation work. An oral instruction is of no immediate effect, and it does not bind the contractor to comply with it. Any oral instruction must be confirmed later in writing within 7 days after its issuance by the superintending officer himself. And the third one is about compliance to instructions. The contractor must comply with the superintending officer's instruction immediately. If the contractor does not comply with the instruction, the superintending officer will send a notice to the contractor requiring the contractor to comply with the instruction. Measurement of variations. Superintending officer or SO is responsible to measure and value the variation works done by the contractor. It should be done as soon as possible to enable payment for the works to be included the interim payment certificates. The variation works that has been carried out by the contractor must be paid in the interim payment certificate even though certificate of adjustment of contract sum is not yet prepared. The SO is only required to measure variations that have been confirmed in writing. Valuation of variation works. The SO must make the valuation of the variation works accordingly to arrive at the amount to be paid to the contractor. The provision lists down the rates, or prices to be used in the valuation of the works. The valuation of variation works can be done by using contract rates, adjusted contract rates or pro-rata rates, agreed rates, or may also use day work price to value the work. Right here, we are going to discuss on the first method of valuation for variation works. The first method is contract rates. The rates for the variation works are taken from the bills of quantities. Reference to the bills of quantities should be made when these rates are used in the valuation of the variation works. Percentage adjustment is required to be made on the contract rates if necessary. This method is in line with Clause 25.1a in PWD 203 as standard form of contract, where the rates in the bills of quantities shall determine the valuation of work of similar character and executed under similar conditions as work price therein. And also with the Clause 25.1c, where the rates in the bills of quantities shall determine the valuation of items omitted. The application of contract rates can be seen in this example. In this example, we have several assumptions and given information. Number of timber flush door in the contract stated to be in 20 numbers, and the contract rate for each flush door is going to cost 250 ringgit. However, there is a variation work since the SO has instructed the contractor to fix additional 2 doors of the same type. In this case, the contract rate of 250 ringgit may be used to value the additional 2 doors. And from the calculation, we can see that the net addition for the variation works is 500 ringgit. The second method is adjusted contract rates or pro-rata rates. These are the rates from the bills of quantities with adjustment for differences between the varied work and the work priced. The adjusted contract rates are applicable for valuing varied work not similar character but executed under similar condition, and remaining items if the work to be carried out in different condition from the original omitted work. This method is explained in Clause 25.1b in PWD 203 as standard form of contract, where the said rates, where work is not of similar character and executed under similar conditions as aforesaid, shall be the basis of rates for the same, as far as may be reasonable. And in Clause 25.1c, where, if the omission varies substantially the conditions under which any remaining items of work are carried out, the rates or such remaining items shall be valued under Rule B. The application of adjusted contract rates or pro-rata rates can be seen in this example. In this example, we have several assumptions and given information. The contract rate for 900 mm times 2100 mm times 40 mm timber single leaf door is 100 ringgit. However, the thickness of door is to be changed to 50 mm. Therefore, by calculating pro-rata rates for 900 mm times 2100 mm times 50 mm timber single leaf door, it can be derived that the price for the 50 mm thickness door is going to be 125 ringgit. The third valuation method for variation works is agreed rates. The agreed rates are used in the event where contract rates and pro-rata rates are not suitable. These rates normally consist of the cost plus a reasonable percentage for profit. The rates are required to be agreed between the SO and the contractor. The agreed rates are applicable for valuing different work, that is varied works which are different in character or executed under conditions different from those included for in any bill rates, or remaining items of work if they are to be carried out under very different condition when part of the original work has been omitted. In PWD 203a, the agreed rates method of valuing the variations is explained in Clause 25.1b, where it stated that the said rates, where work is not of similar character and executed under similar conditions as aforesaid, failing which a fair valuation thereof shall be made by the SO. And also in Clause 25.1c, where, if the omission varies substantially the conditions under which any remaining items of work are carried out, the rates or such remaining items shall be valued under Rule B. Here are an example showing the application of agreed rates as a method in valuing the variation work. As being depicted in the bills of quantities, the agreed price of chain link fencing is 300 ringgit. This agreed price is not found in any other places in bills of quantities, since this price is being agreed by the SO altogether with the contractor for the purpose of the variation works. This is the fourth method of valuing the variation works, which is by day work price. This method of valuation is normally used where the variation work cannot be properly measured and valued and a valuation at rates is not practicable. Example, demolition work. To be eligible for payment, the contractor must submit within 7 days after the works have been done, and the following particulars to the SO for verification. Receipt as a proof for amount paid, and particulars on the workman employed, plant employed and materials used. The day work rates method is clearly indicated in clause 25.1b in PWD 203A. Where work cannot be properly measured or valued, the SO may allow day work price as specified in Appendix. Provided always as a condition precedent to any right to any payment, the contractor shall produce vouchers, receipts and wage books specifying the time for labor and plant employed and materials used to the SO not exceeding 7 days after the work shall have been done. And also clause 25.2, which highlights, unless otherwise provided in the bills of quantities, the day work prices for the purpose of this contract shall be taken to mean the actual net cost to the contractor of his materials, plant and labor for the work concerned. By considering all the required details for the day work rates, it is also important to allow for profit for contractor. This is as per clause 25.2, where the contractor shall be paid day work prices plus 15%, which shall include for the cost of all ordinary plant, tools, scaffolding, and profit. And as for the example for the application of day work price, it can be seen in this variation work, particularly on hacking and removing existing damaged ceiling sheet. The calculation shows the cost incurred, namely labor cost for hiring carpenters and unskilled workers for hacking and the rental of lorry for removing of debris off-site. The total cost of labor and rental of lorry are then being added with 15% profit allowance, which makes up total of 3,772 ringgit. In conclusion, the use of variation works in construction contracts plays a pivotal role in ensuring project success and adaptability in the ever-changing construction industry. Variation works provide an essential mechanism for project stakeholders to address evolving needs and challenges while maintaining the contractual framework. They allow for flexibility and responsiveness, enabling contractors to accommodate unexpected situations and optimize project outcomes. Variation works are also an indispensable aspect of construction contracts that contribute to project resilience and success. By embracing the dynamic nature of the construction industry and implementing a well-structured approach to manage variations, stakeholders can navigate uncertainties more effectively and achieve a successful project delivery.